Hey friends, hope you're having a great day today or evening. In my case, since I'm on Central Time, it is 5:30 in the evening, which means Tuesday tutorials. The one day out of the week that I look forward to, that I could share my expertise, my learning approach, everything that I do SilverSilk with you guys out there. And I love connecting with you. I love that you guys tune in every week. Here on the SilverSilk and More Facebook page, and we just have a really grand old time connecting together and making fun things. In case you missed these tutorials, you can definitely catch the replay, and if you hop on over to YouTube, you can actually see all of my entire library of videos there, and please subscribe while you are there. I can see some friends tuning in already. Hey, Julie. Just saw your message a little bit earlier, so I will catch you back on there here soon. Hey, Tracy, it's good to see you. Kathy is here too. Wonderful to see you, ladies. Donna. Lots of things to talk about tonight. I wanted to talk about the wire first because I get my wire in a bulk spool, which looks like this. This is the blue colored wire, and all of my wire is from Parawire. Hey, Gretchen and Teresa, real quick, to my fabulous ambassador who works very hard behind the scenes to make sure SilverSilk is running smoothly on the social media. So thank you, Teresa. I completely appreciate you and Gretchen. Yeah, we'll connect soon after the video, I'm sure. Parawire is noted for very quality product. Their color line is amazing. They have really flexible wire, which is perfect to knit with. Their customer service you can't beat. So I highly recommend between Parawire and Softflex Craft Wire, the quality and customer service is just phenomenal. But what happens between runs of color, because this is specifically spooled just for me on this size spool, and this fits into my machine. So they have to process the wire on their end, and sometimes whenever they're getting the color coding and everything together, it's not always the same formula from bulk spool to bulk spool. So sometimes the color is going to be off a little bit, or the consistency, the brightness and the hue, the tint, whatever it may be, might not be the same every single time. And I just wanted you guys to know that there might be a little bit of a difference every now and then, but they are known for consistency throughout their different wires, and so that shouldn't be a problem in the long run. Sometimes it will be, but again, wanted to let you guys know that that's just how it works on their end. And for me, I am completely 100% now in charge of the production end of it, and so I can definitely do some additional quality control, and wanted to let you guys know and to be aware of that. So it's still gonna be all seen through me, and so I would never send you a product that I personally wouldn't use, but sometimes the color is just gonna be off ever so slightly from spool to spool. Having said that, I wanted to move on to the next topic, which is, hey, we have a friend from South Africa. Is it Cecil? Lovely to have you here. Thanks so much for joining in. And Mimi is here too. Hi, Mimi. Guys, my new kit, which was completely a last minute thought I wasn't going to do a kit for a while, and I wanted to put something quickly together, and just because I have now complete production control. So this one's packed with quite a few quality products, I will say. I think it's probably my best kit yet. I know Atlantis, we kind of left on a very good high note there, and I think aside from this one, that was probably also one of my favorites. But this one, I really focused on the concept of Amazon rainforest, tried to find the right charms, the right components, the right bindings, and the right color scheme to put all this together. So I started out with a ton and now only have 15, and so you can grab these at www.silversilkonline.com. Not very many left. Next week, I'm going to open this up and make something with it. Or several things, actually. There's so many things in here that I was able to pack that I wasn't able to before. So I'm really proud of that, and I hope you guys participate and post stuff to the Silkies group. If you post your design, you're automatically entered into a drawing for mid-August, and then the month will then bring some more surprises, because I've got a few things tucked away for later for another announcement. Lots of fun things in the works. So for tonight's tutorial, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the camera around because it requires a little bit of explanation. So let me go ahead and flip this. And guys, if you wouldn't mind giving a quick share to our bead buddies and bead groups out there, I definitely don't want anyone to miss out on any of the fun for tonight. Okay, we have, or at least I do, a lot of different colors and stuff that I want to do something with. Sometimes I end up with scraps. It just happens because I get the, correct necklace length or the correct bracelet length, and I just have some stuff left over to work with. Well, in this case, I have fern. I've got this beautiful amethyst color. These are both new and back to SilverSilk. And what's extremely new is this beautiful waterfall color, very exclusive. I'm not going to make this run for a very long time again. It does have a blue tinsel inside of it. So, for example, this is one of my scrap pieces as I was making it. This by itself is called River. It just has the blue the blue wire, which I showed you earlier that was on the spool, knitted over a ball chain that is silver color. And the extra step of what makes it waterfall is this gorgeous blue tinsel that's woven in before the knitted wire goes over it. So if I overlap these, you can see the difference of how bright and vivid that ball chain instantly becomes because of that blue tinsel. And so it really just makes for a cool, unique wire. Thanks, Yvette. She says, happy belated birthday. I appreciate that. I'm living my best 34 at this point, so no complaints here. I just love this color. It really symbolizes, not symbolizes maybe, but really encapsulates what Amazon rainforest is for me, and it's beautiful watery landscapes. I don't know, there's just something about it. But in any case, while I'm short on words for that, I wanted to use it in tonight's tutorial. So I've got these gorgeous colors to work with, and they're all just scraps, right? So I was kind of thinking of okay, what's something cool that I could do that I could connect all these together cohesively? That might be a little tricky. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it hit me. I was like, the answer to this is quite obvious and simple. And I don't know why I didn't think of it before, but sometimes you just need inspiration from colors to receive it. I have ball chain connectors, and this was such a wow moment for me because I could connect all of these chains together with the ball chain connector and do something really cool with it. I never thought of that before. I don't know why. And I wanted to share this with you guys. I haven't done a tutorial yet with it, so this is the perfect opportunity to do that. Yes, very Mardi Gras colors, as Steph says. I'm feeling cool, bright colors today. It's summer, we should be celebrating color and warmth and everything, so why not? And I wanted to open up these little connectors to you guys. So I do have a special sale going on. Free ball chain connectors. That's going to be this little package here. Use code connectors at checkout. Applies to any order while supplies last. And what I didn't put on this little card is that the sale ends by Saturday. So you can go to www.silversilkonline.com. I'm going to keep this to the side because hopefully if everything works out perfectly, you guys will be super inspired to try this for yourself. So you don't have to have a minimum order. You can order whatever you like from the store, and I will include a package of these, which includes 2 gunmetal colors, 2 of the antique brass, 2 silver, and 2 gold. Okay, in this case, I think I'm going to be using mostly silver and probably the gunmetal color to make my design work. But let's go ahead and test this out. I want to get right to it. So I've got this fern. I just want to have one of these little beads sticking out. And I'm just going to connect this to my connector. Pardon the redundancy there. And should just connect brilliantly like that. And then what I want to do is kind of figure out what configuration that I want. So, and also the design, because I think I want to make a bracelet out of this and have it all connected together and wrap around all cool and stuff. And what I would probably do here is connect these two and then probably start to push my wire down right over it. Sometimes this might take a little bit of extra work. You may have to pull some of the ball chain out on the other end and trim it up later to do this. But you can definitely kind of work with it to, let's see if I can get it out. It might be really tight on there already. So once we have this kind of inserted in, and oh, I could even go in with this other side here. There we go. I'll just do that with my fern. No big deal. So once I have this sort of covered up to a good enough degree, what I can do here is figure out some sort of a process to cover it up. Well, I thought I would dive into my seed beads, you guys. Because remember our super duper wire wrapping seed bead technique? This is where that's gonna come in super handy. So what I have here is 26 gauge Softflex craft wire in silver color. This is gonna be very, very much needed and perfect for wire wrapping my beads around the connection here. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and just push my wire down as much as I can. It doesn't need to cover all of it up, but it needs to disguise as much as I can. I'll go in and tuck in my silver colored wire from Softflex. And right now I'm just gonna do probably a loose wrap. I'm not gonna pay attention to it right now. I can close that up later and make sure that it's super secure once I get all my wrapping done. So I'm gonna go ahead and scoot all of my seed beads down. Now I used Silver Line size 8 violet seed beads. Of course you can use any color scheme that you want. Based on my color scheme today, I just picked out seed beads that were gonna give a real pop to my color scheme. And this particular color I had in my inventory did it for me. And so I want you guys to pick out things that would appeal to you. And, you know, in this case, I'm using bright colors. And of course, everyone has a different color preference. But just do what feels good to you. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and take it and wrap my seed beads right around it and start to cover it up. You can make this as long or as short as you want. No big deal, but you just see how quickly I can color block that. Now that's kind of scooting down on me, but that's all right. I can pinch it. Once I weave my wire into my purple wire, it's going to stay fairly permanently. The trick is just to get it inside of that wrap as best as you can. So now I can go back and, go ahead and tuck in my wire accordingly. So I'm actually gonna trim this off just a little bit. Patty Graham commented that it matches perfect. I think so too. You definitely wanna make sure that you do weave through the wire at least on the first wrap. That way it just pushes that knitted wire down and keeps it permanently there in place. And what I'm gonna do is just simple coils actually, I think on this one. You could even do a messy wrap. I think that would be really cool. I kind of like the hit of silver just here at the end. Kind of like a bead cap almost without being a bead cap. And I'm gonna just tuck that extra wire back into the SilverSilk so it doesn't poke anybody while they're wearing it. So of course that's the last thing that I want. Very easy to do, and I'm gonna do the same to this side. You wanna make sure that you coil the same direction as your beads are coiling as well. That just makes sure that it doesn't coil the opposite direction. I really love this technique. It just occurred to, oh, my connectors are going all over the place as I'm winding this. It just came to me. I don't know. Sometimes you just need to change of pace or a break in color and design, and boom, like it just hits you, you know? And I think a size change was also necessary for something like this to work. But look at that. Isn't that just a simple, like easy thing to do? I'm going to continue this design. And in fact, what I wanted to do was a wrap bracelet, which of course I left my findings in the other room. So we're going to figure that one out later. But I can kind of see like doing a multitude of wraps. And I want to bring in, where'd it go? Here it is. My beautiful blue color, and also do a connection with that as well. So what I'm going to do is trim this off just a little bit, enough to get my bead there exposed, bring it out just a little bit. In fact, I might scoot it back just a few, because I do need some extra wire there to work with. And I'm going to use another connection. I'm going to use my silver one. Just go ahead and pop that on. I'll give you one additional tip to this as well. So let me cut this real quick. And again, I just want to... Oh, you guys can kind of see now. Do you see that little tinsel that's kind of sticking out? Like that's an additional lining to this waterfall. I think it's so cool. So if you're having trouble connecting this, let's just pretend like I'm having a little bit of trouble. These are very soft, so you can actually go in and open this up with a couple different pliers. So I'm just gonna grab another handy dandy plier and just open it up like that. Think of them as crimps in a way. You could slide that right in and then just take your chain nose pliers and just give it a good press. You can even go back in and press this down a little bit more so that it's even more streamlined and skinny and will fit right over that wire pretty easily. Again, doing this to both sides. There we go. Very cool. So now it's instantly connected and that we can cover it up with some beads. For this side, I wanted to use a different color altogether. I found some orange Swarovski crystals in my own stash. I know we've all got crystals. I mean, come on, we're all bead addicts here. So I'm sure you guys have crystals too. But I wanted to, again, I guess continuing that Mardi Gras theme, if you will, really just make this super colorful. And why not? I've got all these beautiful colors that I'm working with, and so might as well just go all the way, right? So I'm just gonna scoot my wire out a little bit, wrap it around a couple ugly wraps, because we're gonna go back in and fix it later, and then do some actual pretty wraps as I'm connecting all this together. And I love these crystals because they're so shiny, and it just works out perfect. And I like the contrast of colors too. It just, I don't know, it just makes for a really dynamite design. Okay, I want to make sure that my wire is pushed in as much as I can, because what I'm going to do is grab it a little bit out from where my last coil was, so maybe about right there, which is about 3 millimeters or so from that last coil. And that's going to help to keep my wire nice and secure as I'm securing this at the very end here. So again, I'll just wrap my wire right around. There we go. Yes, Sherry says it gives a zing, which I completely agree with. I think that's the magic word I was looking for. I'm just gonna trim this a little bit. I tend to trim my wires at an angle if I'm coiling. In this case, it just creates a nice sharp point to where I can push it back through, my knitted wire here, and just kind of tuck it in a little bit. And same thing here. I'm just gonna go ahead and try and push everything down. Sometimes you have to run your fingers through the knitted wire to get it nice and compact and then just start to wrap it around. And then I'll just tuck the rest of it into my chain, no problem. There. So another bead instantly done. And what I would love to do is another wrap. What I think I might do later, I'm gonna go back and cut this green wire and attach my clasp to it. That way I have a clasp that I can attach or detach my bracelet. But I wanted to show this connection real quick while we're here. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and try and grasp my little bead there for the ball chain, pull some of that wire back, grab another silver, or actually I'm gonna grab a gunmetal because this has gunmetal in it. It reminds you of rock candy on a stick, says Sylvia. The bead wraps do. That's so true. It's definitely does remind me of those crystals. So there we go. Fit that right through. What I wanted to let you guys in on also was you don't have to just use round seed beads or crystals. Like, the seed bead world has grown substantially with all kinds of shapes and sizes. As you can see, that wasn't really quite fitting through. So what we can do is open this up with our pliers, just a little bit. Again, go back in, snap it in, and then shut it closed. Perfect. And then I'm gonna push that wire down as much as I can. Sometimes that wire doesn't go all the way through, but that's all right. Just do the best you can. You can always definitely kind of force it through there. That looks really good to me. And so now I will use a different shape altogether. This is some drops that I had. They have a mint green lining inside of a blue colored drop that's transparent. And so I thought, you know what, this was a good opportunity to use that color and create another wow texture into this. So I'm just gonna go in a little bit closer this time. Give myself a couple ugly wraps, go back in and go ahead and start to wrap it around and around. Very, very easy to do. I would recommend pre-stringing it. In this case, what I did was I strung a seed bead or a delica actually between each drop just to make sure that it was going to lay correctly. And then simply just rotate it around. Very easy to do. So that whenever you start to layer this bracelet together, it really does create some unique, fun beads. So you could really mix up the type of beads that you're using. It doesn't have to be the same pattern. Yeah, I don't know. The possibilities are really just endless. Actually, yeah, Joy just brought up a good point. It would make an awesome pool chain for something, whether a ceiling fan or otherwise. That would be kind of fun, wouldn't it? Okay, just wrap this around. Go ahead and tuck that in. I used silver colored wire here. You could absolutely use something else that disappears even better. Probably a gunmetal color might be sufficient if you're wanting to do that. Absolutely. Oh, Julie says that looks so cool. I appreciate that, Julie. Thank you. I'm really happy with this particular combination of techniques and beads that I'm using. I do have another project lined up after this, in fact, that uses the same technique because I wanted to show you guys what a wrap bracelet might look like. And again, I probably have to go back and cut this, but you just see, like, you can just continue to add on all kinds of strings of capture chain and colors, and it just becomes a really cool, fun bracelet. You could probably even actually just slide this right over. I didn't even think about that. So maybe it doesn't even need a clasp. It could just kind of work all together as a bracelet. So there we go. That's without a clasp, just fit right over my wrist. So I think that's really fun. Okay, so we've got this design, right? But I was thinking, like, why don't we take it a step further and figure out, like, what it would look like for a necklace if we wanted to try this technique using using the connectors and also trying to figure out maybe a pendant look for a design for a necklace. So let me give you an example. I have here this beautiful fern color. This was introduced last week or a couple of weeks ago into the SilverSilk family again. So this is it's not really a new color. It was just out of my website for a long time, but now it's back. And then a new color, which is this solid antique copper. I thought this would be a really cool combination together. I just love that. And I wanted to do something with this together. So I thought, you know what, let me bring out my seed beads. And I have these beautiful drops and daggers that I alternated. So I used delicas in between, as you can see, and like 5 drops it looks like, and then 1 dagger, and just continue that pattern. So I wanted to make a couple of wraps using some different sized and different colored seed beads. This one uses Czech buttons and tulip petals as well. And I found these on Etsy like a while ago, and I've had them forever, and I feel like this was like the perfect opportunity to use them. So I'm gonna keep those out, and I wanted to show you guys what a necklace might look like where you don't need a clasp, because all of you know that I'm a fan of no clasp necklaces. Something that you could truly just throw over your head a few times, layer it into a drop chain scarf, which is what I'm gonna do for this particular style. In this case, I guess I used up my gunmetal color in my bracelet, but I'm gonna use gold because there's a lot of gold happening in my bead arrangement there. There we go. So I'm just gonna snap this into place. Very easy to do, just a regular connector. There we go. And pull my chains right over it as best as I can. I just wanted to cover as much of it as I can. Easy peasy so far. So already, like, my chains are connected, ready to go. I'm gonna go and do the same to the other side. Get my knots and stuff all out. I might have to trim up the wire just a little bit, so I'm gonna go up to here and trim it. And I'm just gonna pull it down so that my chain is exposed. Sometimes it requires the help of your pliers. Get it out, there we go. And bring this guy around. I will go ahead and use my gold connector for both sides. Go. I love fastening. It's like such a satisfying technique to just fasten it in place. Especially when you hear that snap. In this case, my connector is a little bit too tight, so I'm going to loosen it. Get this out of the way. Just like that. I can go back in because it's a soft metal and tighten it back up. So there we go. Perfect. Awesome. Okay, go back in and pull all of my knitted wire right over it. And boom, I am ready to wire wrap my seed beads, you guys. Like, I would highly recommend, if you're gonna try this, have your seed beads picked out and already wired. In this case, I'm using size 26 gauge craft wire from Softflex, and this is the copper color. Since I'm using antique copper in my design, it just seemed like a pretty good fit. And I'm just gonna string this right through. Again, from before, I'm just gonna do a couple ugly wraps because I can focus on wrapping that appropriately later. And then go back in and now just wrap to my heart's content. You could see that these petals and buttons are giving me a really unusual texture. And I love that. I'm all about texture. I think the weirder I can get with it, the cooler the design ends up being. I mean, look at that. That's such a, I don't know, it's just a very cool textural piece. I could go as long or as short as I want with this. In this case, I've strung it to here, so we'll just work with that. I'm going to undo this. Because it's 26 gauge wire, it's super soft and thin and easy to work with. And now I can certainly string this right through my capture chain very easily. And then coil it in the same direction as my beadwork. Doesn't it look like it's been seed bead woven? And it's not. I mean, this is such a trickery of a technique. Oh, Kathleen is asking what color green did you use? So this is called Fern, which is a lime green over a gunmetal colored ball chain. Kind of gives a really deep fern, you know, sort of foliage colored knitted wire. Love that combination. Sherry says it looks a bit like Kumihimo. You know what? You were right, my friend. It does. I mean, what a way to fool people that you like spent hours on this and I spent, what, maybe 5 minutes trying to wrap this? Pretty easy. If I can do this and convey it on camera successfully, I know you guys can do it. I want you guys to give it a try and let me know if it's easy, if it's hard. Did you try different beads? All of it. I just want to know. And post it to our Silkies Facebook group page because we are an awesome, awesome group. All right, I'm gonna take out my ugly wrap and wrap it nice and neat this time. There we go. I just want to make a little cap at the end. Nothing too elaborate. And then I'll cut it short and tuck it back into the knitted wire. I think that's really kind of a cool concept for this knitted wire is that no matter what, if you're working with wire, if you're working with thread, if you're working with anything, you can hide it back into the knitted wire pretty easily. I mean, look, my connector is gone. I don't even know where it ends and where it begins. And I've got this really unusual, cool beaded technique. Super amazing. I love it. If you want these tulip beads again, check out Etsy because that's where I got them from. Just Czech tulip beads is all I typed in, as well as the buttons. And I just found some really cool colors. So let's try it with the drop beads and see what we come up with. Let me cut this out right here and we'll see what we come up with. So again, just pushing that knitted wire right over that connector, finding a good spot. We'll tuck it in there, holds it in place, and now I can go back in and wrap my, oops, my tools are in the way, wrap my seed beads around it. Oh, Sylvia, you have a good question, my friend. She is asking, for those of you who have ordered the Amazon kit, would you like to keep it a secret until next week's unpacking or just lay it out on the table? You know what? This kit is so cool. I don't want you to hide it from anybody. So as soon as you guys get them, please post it to our Silkies Facebook group page. I want everyone to be excited about it. I want everyone to be invigorated design-wise and really start getting ideas because the prize entry, the grand prize giveaway is in the middle of August, and I want you guys to continue to post your designs and see what we all come up with. So for that, if you grab the kit and make a design and post it to our Silkies Facebook group page, you'll be automatically entered into a drawing that I will do in the middle of August. And yeah, we'll get to see what everyone made, and each picture that you post is an entry into the drawing, and it's always a really fun giveaway because I love giving away free stuff all the time. Okay, last wrap here. And we are all done with our design. I'm going to show you what it looks like on a neck form because it's not really doing any justice laying flat on the table, right? So I have these, need my chain nose pliers. There we go. Let's tuck that in. Cool, like look at that. It kind of looks like bananas to me. I don't know. It's really, really cool. Okay, so let me put this on a neck form, and in fact, let me focus this back around, back to you guys, because I wanted to show you guys what it looks like on a neck form. Really cool. And it's such a long, like look at that. I can make a giant necklace design without even having to worry about what length of capture chain I've got. I don't know, it's just a really innovative technique, but look at that. Such a cool minimalist design. I could wrap this around my neck like 4 or 5 times, get something that's a choker all the way to something that's long instantly. So you won't want to miss out on this deal. Any order that you guys get, I'm sorry, this is backwards, connectors at checkout, and I will include a package of these guys for you to try out and make some designs for yourself. You can use it for the Amazon Rainforest mystery kit as well. So I leave you with good thoughts, good vibes. I'm so glad you guys got to tune in. My buddy Sarah Ellis is on the Jesse James Beads Facebook page, and I don't want you guys to miss out on that either. So go check them out. If you love the wire, check out softflexcompany.com. 26 gauge wire is what I used tonight, specifically the craft wire. And you can catch all of my goodies on www.silversilkonline.com. And if you're on YouTube, please check out my channel and subscribe, SilverSilk and more. And you can find me on Instagram as well. I love all of you. Thanks so much for tuning in and your questions. If you have any more, please email me or message me on Facebook. All right, I love all of you. I'll see you next week, and I'll get this design photographed and put on the website and the Facebooks. All right, good night, guys.